Pageantry Now. I am Stacey Shara-Simpson, your host, and we are looking forward to our regularly scheduled show at 5 o'clock on Sundays at Eastern Standard Time, where we are going to be joined today by some title holders from the new pageant intern program, Miss UniverzV and Miss UniverzV VT. They will tell you a little bit more about the program, but essentially, if you are thinking about doing a pageant and have never done one, or maybe you've done one and hadn't had quite the success that you're looking to have, this program is intended to, hey there, how are you, for being able to help get you on your way. They also have a modeling program as well, so we will let them tell you a little bit more about that. But in the meantime, let me tell you a little bit about Pageantry Now and what we do and why we are here. We're all about positive pageantry and being able to highlight the great things that title holders are able to do around the world using a crown. So if you've perhaps seen negative things about pageants on TV, you've seen a blooper on stage, or a controversial question, or, you know, we all know about Honey Boo Boo, which is okay. I mean, everybody has their own pageant thing, so I'm not bashing that in any way, shape, or form. But the idea here is for us to be able to highlight the other things that go on with titles that you don't necessarily hear about, and the positivity that comes with that. So while we are waiting for people to come in, if you haven't already, please fan us. We call our fans crownies, and then we do also have social media. So if you fan us, make sure you invite your fans, and then please give us likes, just because we're in the 50K likes, to be able to hopefully move us up and get more views. And then that way you can hear more about what these title holders are doing, and more about pageantry, and being able to really highlight them. So make sure you capture moments as well. It's the little three-quarter circle with arrow in it. So capture those moments if you see or hear things that you like. We are also available on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Pageantry Now, or you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel, which this will be saved on later on. So that's Pageantry Now Media, and you can go back and look at all the interviews that we've done over the last couple of years while we've been hosting this program. With that being said, I see that our first guest is already in the queue, so let me see if I can get this to work for her. Sometimes when we've got a lot of people online, it makes it hard to be able to get guests in the queue. So if we have a little bit of technical glitch, it's typical, just because on Sundays there tends to be a lot of viewers on. Again, if you haven't already, please share our videos so that your fans can join us too. Hey, Opal, how are you?
Doing well, and you? My computer's acting a little up, so I have to use my phone today.
Oh, no. You know, and that's typically what happens when you try to log in on the computer. If it's not regularly on, it has kind of a glitch to it. So I apologize, but thank you.
I think part of it's my computer, because it's been a little unresponsive today in general.
Not understanding your needs?
It does not. I have issues with technology at times, so it happens more often than I would like.
Unfortunately, we have that issue here all the time, so we appreciate the challenge. All right, so the good thing about technology is it connects all of us. The bad thing about technology is it doesn't always work the way we want it to. So
this is a very good point.
So do me a favor, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do with the Miss UniverzV and VT programs, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Hi, everybody. My name is Opal Guillory. I also go by the nickname of Danny. I am the co-head Queens Coordinator for Miss UniverzV International. I help to make sure that all of our queens get everything that they need, make sure they are on top of all of their posts. I also help to organize events and make sure things are running smoothly and give ideas. I've done pageantry for over 24 years.
Wow.
I have done it all. I have seen it all. And I really enjoy working with MUI, as it's also known as, because we can help you prepare for those trips and stumbles.
Right.
And it's a fun way to get to meet new people and see different parts of the country.
Exactly. And I think that that's a great opportunity for people that don't understand, that have never done a pageant or never experienced that, there are lots of bumps and bruises that you go through along the way. So tell us a little bit more about what the Miss UniverzV program and VT program are about with respect to how they get you ready, and that it's not an actual pageant, but an internship to help you prepare.
That is one of our main points, is the fact that we are an internship program, so we treat it more like a job. Whenever you join our organization, you will have a team of guiding Glindas, because our theme is Wizard of Oz. And the team will help you when it comes to preparing for interview, giving you tricks of the trade, how to answer those difficult questions, how to present yourself in a certain way. You also will have advice when it comes to your clothing, how you should wear your hair, your makeup, and all of those little things. So essentially, it is like having a pageant coach.
Right.
But you get the experience and the knowledge of how to become a title holder when you do go on to win that national or world title that you're hoping of. And we don't just stop when you win the title. We will help throughout the year with your reign. We also, a big part of our organization, the V actually stands for volunteer.
Right.
We ask that our queens and all title holders, even our staff members, to do volunteer services.
Right.
And for me, my personal platform is for Special Olympics. So if we can go out and promote both organizations, it's a win-win for everybody. So the volunteer aspect is a crucial part of this program. We also have a volunteer talent portion. So if you have a talent that you want to perfect, say if you're going for Cinderella or Our Little Miss, or even the Miss America organization, we can help tweak your talent routines, your costumes, your makeup. If it's not really the best song for your age group, we can help give you advice on that as well.
Awesome. That is, and so I know that the V is for volunteerism. VT is
volunteering and talent.
All right.
So our VT courts have talent that they will perform. Our V court does not. They might have a hidden talent. And if you have a hidden talent, we can help you perfect that as well. We all have something we're good at.
So it's just about developing women, young women. Tell me a little bit about the ages and the categories so we have an idea.
At about the age of 3 when they can walk by themselves on stage. And it's from 3 on up, because we don't believe that you have to be a certain age to be a queen. Everybody's a queen, no matter how old you are. So this is just to help you promote yourself. Another aspect of it is learning how to use social media in a positive light, to show the positive side of pageantry. They have, each girl represents a different country. We have those that are representing France, the Bahamas, Greece, Norway, Sweden, Poland. So one of their posts is actually a little fun fact about the country they're representing. So not only are you learning pageant tricks and trades, but you get to learn about different countries from around the world without paying the price for an airline ticket.
That is fantastic. I mean, and I know that a lot of people spend a lot of money to be able to have a coach or to have someone that's going to give them information on what's the best way to do things. You have an entire team and an entire board of directors that help in that whole aspect of being able to help mold young women and older women. There's all ages that are in the system. So what is it, or how does the selection process go? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, you can find out more information at www.missunniverz.com, because we are not associated with the Miss Universe. We are our own section, and you will send in your bio, which will have all of your past pageant experience, your volunteer groups, and then you will also send in your headshots. And from that, we will have a panel select which ones that we feel are the best representations of our world of pageantry.
Okay. So is there a fee for this, or is it?
There is a fee.
Okay.
But it's worth it, because everything has a price, unfortunately, in today's world.
Right.
but the experience and the knowledge that you gain from this program is well above anything that you would want, because it's not like I've done pageants. I've started off in the glitz world back
Okay.
before the fake tans and all of this, but I've also done natural systems. We have individuals who have done in just about every big major pageant in this country. So if I might not know as much about International Junior Miss, but one of our other guidance Glendas can give you the information, because we want our girls to be able to go to any system, regardless of what it is, and show that they can do it, that they are winners for a reason.
Right. I want to do a shout out really quick to Mrs. Octavia and to Ms. Burgundy, the founders of the Miss UniverzV program and VT program. Burgundy has been a title holder for many years, and so it was really her design to be able to help support other women that are out there that may be doing their first pageant or second pageant and still kind of not finding the right niche for them. Because that's the other thing too, is that like you can be competing in the wrong system and not be in the right place for your kind of personality or for your look or for what it is that you're passionate about.
Correct.
And you all as a group try to help guide everyone to the right place that they're going to fit into, so that when they do decide to compete, or as they are competing continually, that they have people there to cheer for them, back them up, and help them, build as a title holder. And
This
besides
is
that,
true.
you get a great prize package as well. I know there's lots and
Yes.
lots of prizes, but oh my gosh.
The prizes, while we don't want that to be the main focus, they are a very good extra bonus. We have two sides of our program. We have the pageant side, and we also have the Miss Universe modeling aspect. We actually got the chance to walk in New York Fashion Week this February.
That is awesome.
And there's another opportunity for us to walk in September as well. So not only can you gain experience and that foot in the door with pageant systems, we might be able to help you, guide you, and make connections with the modeling world as well.
Fantastic.
And you do not have to be a title holder to be in the modeling world.
This is
And
true.
you don't have. So we have something for everybody.
That is fantastic. All right, so tell me a little bit, because since you are one of the guiding Glendas, I'm gonna ask you to explain that in a minute. But before we do that, tell me a little bit about your pageantry experience and how do you fit in this 24 years that you've been competing, to be able to help advise these young women and older women too, about how pageantry works and how modeling works.
Yes, I have been in the world of pageantry since the very tender age of 4.
Oh my gosh.
My mom is a complete tomboy. She's also allergic to nickel, so she doesn't do makeup.
Okay.
I think we were watching the Miss America pageant on TV, and I said, Mommy, I want to do that. So we entered my first pageant, and I was hooked. I have done everything from small locals to world level pageants. I've had titles in each system. I am usually the class clown backstage. Well, to me, if you're having fun backstage, you'll have fun on stage.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
I have actually been in almost every part of the pageant world. I have judged before, I have competed, I have emceed, I have been on staff for world level competitions, which is actually how I met Miss Octavia in Burgundy.
Right.
I can set up a trophy, I have done crowning, I have not been an auditor yet.
Oh, that's fun. No, don't. I don't.
I don't.
We let my husband do that. Yeah, no.
I would have to have a really big calculator because I'd have to like triple check the scores. So I've done just about everything. I've had everything that you could imagine happen to me. I've had them take my hair to my head because the piece would not stay. I've had the lights go out on me while I was on stage. They started pulsing. I've had the sound system go out. I have actually managed to tear down a backdrop. They had streamers, and I had a long dress with heels. And I did a step back and my heel got caught on the streamers, and when I went forward, so did the background. I have fallen on my face. I have fallen downstairs. I've had people push my clothes into drainage, and
Oh
I've had the bullying, online bullying, and all of anything. I've been told I was too pale. I had tried the Miss America system for a few years, and while it's a great fit for some people, I personally do not do well in that system.
no. Right. I mean, there's a system for everybody. It's hard to know what those are, and that's the thing is you guys bring that background
Exactly.
with you.
And that was fine with me, and I support all of my friends who do MAO because it is a great organization. I personally did not fit in
Right.
that well, so I went on and, I chalked it up to experience. I got to meet some new people and went on about my business. So I've done just about everything. I have been put through the ringer. I've been told that you need to give this hobby up because you'll never be pretty enough. I've been told you're too pale, you're too big, you're too short. I've had it just about anything. So I can handle just about any subject or almost every question that you can throw at me. I've had parents get mad at me,
Yeah,
but
you
it's all
know
in how you
what?
look at it.
We don't need any of those negative Nellies. We're all about positivity and being able to show that every person can be represented by pageantry. And that's one thing that's great that you're going to bring to this opportunity is that you've already gone through those doors. You've already had to compete
Right.
with that. You've already had those issues. I mean, for me, I was in the very first official plus size pageant that was only plus size, and I was a title holder for them for the state of Texas. My first national pageant, and I pulled a Sandra Bullock and fell face first on stage. Same idea. My dress got
Yep.
caught, and I just picked myself up and went, all right, this wasn't the crown for me, but I had a great experience doing it. And then I kind of had to feel it all out. I mean, there are so many systems out there that it's really hard to be able to make a decision as to whether you're investing in something that's worth your while.
And for me, like in Louisiana, we have a lot of fair and festival pageants.
Right.
And if you win a fair and festival title, you travel across the state. You have a festival every weekend. We have a festival about cake, I think, now. I'm not really sure.
I started my pageant journey as an adult in Texas, so you don't even have to do
Right. So you know how it is. And I actually, like when the lights went out and all of that, I just kept going. And that's how some of them knew me, as the one who fell on stage or the one that the lights went out on. And I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
yep, that's me. How you doing?
Don't we
So
love social media now so it can be shared immediately?
yeah. Luckily, this was pre-Facebook, but I did have experiences with the void boards and bashing sites where
I
they
won't,
were
I won't
coming.
even. I will not.
And it's like, okay, I'm gonna let y'all be my motivators, and I'm gonna keep doing me.
Right.
So I try to make it a positive. Like, I will show you that I can do this.
And that's fantastic. Mrs. Stacy, go big or go home from Mrs. Octavia. Absolutely,
Yes.
it's true. I mean, it's true. And that's the thing is my pageant experience started when I was 16. And I got into it for different reasons. I was the victim of abuse. They do big in Texas. Oh, yes, they do. But I started here in Florida, and it wasn't a big thing. And my mom entered me into a pageant because I had to have reconstructive surgery on my face from where I was abused. And she thought it would raise my self-esteem. Now, I'm going to say at 16, probably not the best decision for a child that has stitches all the way up her face to go into a pageant. But what I will tell you is that it raised my self-esteem in a way that I didn't really expect. And it enabled me the opportunity to not listen to everybody else's opinions and to be able to find my own grounding, which was super, super important, so that when I did get to Texas, we went big.
Yeah. I think Louisiana, Texas, and Mississippi, we all do it big. Like, the bigger the hair, the closer to God.
That
Bigger
is right.
boats. Like, that's a staple, I think, in the Gulf states. Like, we have to do it big. We can't do it small.
You are correct. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, and that was the thing is, and it's a really big family. You know, coming back to
Right.
Florida, in South Florida, we don't have quite that same feeling. The Panhandle in the northern part of, so Gulf State again, but the north side,
Right.
much more pageant oriented. You know, still have that feeling. Whereas down here in Miami, that people kind of look at me and go, "But you're 5'4".
Yes.
And I go, "Yeah, just because I'm 5'4" and a size 16 doesn't mean I can't compete."
I would do that at school because I would always have t-shirt and my hair in a ponytail. I was with the boys. They're like, "What?" Like, this is my time to be girly. Like, you know, you have to have a girly side every once in a while.
Mine is every Sunday at 5 o'clock. Thank you very much. The rest of the
Yes.
time, I even cut my hair off so I don't even have to do the ponytail anymore, because in Texas I have big hair, but in Miami you don't have big hair ever. Every time I did an appearance in Florida, my stylist would be like, "Please stop scheduling things in Florida." Because I go outside and my hair goes, you know, so anyway.
I just actually cut all of mine off because I was constantly having it in a ponytail, and it's like, I gotta get out the ponytail.
Yeah, and this frames your face really nicely. It looks great. So you look beautiful. You can see your face. I think that's phenomenal.
I went with my natural curls today.
Ah, there you go. But I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so tell me a little bit about the Guiding Glendas, because I want to know more about this, because when you sent me your bio and you said you were Glenda, I went, and my brain went immediately to Wicked, and I went to, okay, we're popular. Got it. Okay, tell me.
That would actually work well. The Guidance Glendas, because MUI is using the Wizard of Oz, our motto is follow the yellow brick road to success.
Okay.
So Glenda guides Dorothy in the books and in the movie. So our Guidance Glendas are our staff that you can go to for advice. We also have a costume party.
Okay.
And last year, I love dressing up. And Burgundy, Miss Octavia, asked if I would like to dress up as Glenda the Good Witch.
Aww.
It's like, of course I will. I don't have blonde hair, but I'll make it work. So that's why it's also like the Guidance Glendas are the group of our staff members. And those are who you go to for the guidance, and they help. And we have people from all walks of life. My mom has a degree in deaf education.
Oh, wow.
But she's also been timekeeper. She can deal with just about any irate parent that you throw at her.
There's no irate parents in pageantry. I don't know what you're talking about.
Never. But she'll do it with a smile, and she'll make you like, wait, did I just get fussed at? But with a smile. It's like,
Always a smile.
Always with a smile. It makes it a little bit nicer when it's like, I'm sorry, your daughter's a little bit late. We can't let her in right now. So we've had all kinds of people on our staff. We have people who are doing just for wardrobe. We have a social media coordinator who does amazing things. She actually made Facebook shut her down because she had too many comments on one post.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, is that Jennifer?
Miss Kimmy.
Oh my gosh, Miss Kimmy.
Jennifer does amazing work. She does our kids' corner for our younger queens. Right. And she's really good with the Snapchat and making videos on how to do everything.
Fantastic.
And then you have our Miss Stacy Asnick is really good with organization and with a schedule. So she helps us make sure that we actually have time for all of these fun activities and we're not overly stressed, and that everybody has time to do what they need to, like eat and sleep.
Those are technicalities. Why would you need to eat or sleep during,
we
any
need a bunch of pixie
activities?
sticks. The pixie sticks, right? That's what we use in pageants, right? It's just a bunch of pixie sticks. She'll make sure we have them.
My director in Accomplished American insisted that every title holder take a picture of them eating food so that she could post it on social media so that we could start to debunk that idea that all we have is salad. So that, was trying to be able to show in a positive manner that it takes all types of people to be able to make pageantry work. And
This
for
is
those
true.
that don't understand, what goes on behind the scenes is way harder than what you see on stage. So just so you all know that it's very different. Oh my gosh, my southern drawl is coming out. It doesn't ever.
It could be
I'm
for
so
my
sorry.
Cajun accent as well.
I'm sorry.
So the accents are going. I worked backstage. I had 33 to 6-year-olds to watch. We sang a lot of nursery rhymes.
Oh, you know,
See-
I get that. I get that.
Caught bubbles with imaginary animals because it kept them still. It kept them quiet. They were not messing up their clothing.
There
So
you
I
go.
was happy. Moms were happy. Everybody won.
See,
But I would
there you go.
I would always have beef jerky in my bag.
Oh, so in case the protein drops, it keeps. Got it.
Right.
Good idea.
And it's not as messy as like some of the
Right.
crackers.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't say it's necessarily healthier than candy, but in my mind it is.
It's better than go-go juice.
Yes, I will have to say it is better than go-go juice.
I'm sorry, Miss Octavia, Miss Burgundy. It's. I'm sorry. I love you.
We also have sparkle and shine moments,
Okay.
which is whenever, if you're having a really bad headache and you need to excuse yourself to take something for it, then we have a sparkle and shine moment, which is really just a nice way to say, look, I'm going to take my break to go fix my face, hair, crown. If your crown's going crooked, if you need something to eat.
True queens fix each other's frowns without telling the person
Yes.
that it's crooked. Thank you very much.
And we always ask our title holders to let one of the staff members or one of their queen sisters, look, Jennifer and I are going for a sparkle and shine moment. We will be right back.
Aww.
And we always do at least groups of 2 so that nobody is ever alone because we don't want that to happen.
Right. No, that's
And
fantastic.
it's fun to have a buddy.
I know, but everybody should have fun. You know, the pageant sister. I mean, pageant sister, and that was what I called my pageant friends in Texas. We had a pageant posse, and we literally would jump into a minivan, and like 8 of us would all go into events to get together. And it wasn't until this pageant season that I've gotten that here in Miami. Now I have my
Right.
pageant posse, so like we message each other. Okay, this is coming up. Are we going? Are we not going? Where are we going to be? Which is why now all of my pageant pictures are with the same people, but they're all from different systems, which I love. Because
Right.
I haven't had that since I lived in Texas. So
I understand completely. We have parents that have pageant granny on the back of their shirts with their child's pictures on it. We have messenger groups that say, okay, we're going here. This is when we're meeting.
right.
This is what we're going to wear. This is how we're going to fix our hair so that everybody looks
Looks the same.
uniform and put together. Because that's one thing as a title holder we try to instill is to make sure your hair is on point, your makeup, and that you're dressed correctly. Because you don't want to be in a ball gown at a rodeo.
No, but the rule of pageantry is always step 1 level up from whatever event it is that you are, so you always look like a queen. Thank you.
This is true. So you can wear your high lows with your cowboy boots if they're blinged, or a short dress, or get you a cute polo shirt, and khaki shorts are always a good option.
Right.
Because polos are always look professional in my opinion. I love polos.
No, I agree too.
And that's one thing is we want these sister bonds to develop. Because
Right.
we have girls from all over the state. I have a pageant bestie in Washington right now. Burgundy's in
wow.
Tennessee. I have one also in Florida and in Alabama. So we go, and we wouldn't have met other than through pageantry.
See, I have pageant friends that are all over the world that I have never met, but we talk all the time in chat, or we talk on here. So, I mean, I have friends in the Philippines, friends in Mauritius, I have friends in England, all over. I mean, and the intent, I mean, my best friend, who is my director for the Accomplished American program, she and I became friends as I was a title holder until I met her. I mean, but the first time I met her, we met at Disney World. She drove down here with her 3 boys from California to Florida so that the kids could all me, and we acted like we've just known each other forever. Yay!
Of course.
Disney World. Oh, that reminds me. Where is your pageant this year?
Actually, our internationals will be held in beautiful Orlando, Florida.
Yes.
We will be going to different Disney resorts. We will have a special fire camp outing with Chip and Dale.
Oh, are you guys doing the Camp Wilderness?
Yes, we are.
Oh, see, now I'm jealous. I've never done it.
Our crowning moments and ceremonies will actually be in the Cabana Bay Resort for Universal. So we're not just stuck into Disney. We're spreading the love all over Orlando.
Disney's trying to buy Universal, so
they really?
Yeah, they are. They're in
as long as they keep the Minions and like
they're not getting rid of any of that. But because Universal had Marvel before and now Disney owns Marvel, they're actually they're trying to buy the theme park.
It might work out well because they're both really good parks. So I'm excited because my nephews love the Minions, so they'd be really sad if they couldn't go see Minions.
I understand. Thank you, Miss Burgundy. When's pageant again? Because it's crowning. It's not pageant. So what's the date for internationals?
June 18th through the 22nd.
Okay.
And throughout that time, we'll have different workshops so that you can prepare and we can work on smoothing out your walks, trying different hairstyles or makeup, and working on interview skills. That's one of our main focuses, is to help with interview because it seems
it's the hardest part of pageantry, I think.
It is, but I personally love interviews.
I do too.
That was my community forum. Whenever they give you the political questions, that was always my favorite part. I did not like doing talent. I play the flute and piccolo. I've played since middle school. Talent is still not my favorite.
We have a regular crownie that's 16 that comes on and asks difficult questions of title holders. And they are almost always the most controversial questions that I've ever seen. And I'm thinking, how is it that a teenager can stump title holders that have had titles for years because she asks difficult. I mean, she's not here today. She's with her dad today, but shout out to Mackenzie.
Well, Mackenzie can ask me any questions she'd like, and she might not always like the response, but
it's not your opinion that's being judged. It's how well you answer the question and the gracefulness and the intellect that comes with it.
Exactly. It's just like when you fall, you just get up and you wipe yourself off. I always end up laughing at myself, so the smile is bigger. And they're like, "Oh, you look like you had so much fun." And it's like, well, it's kind of my MO to fall over something at least once.
Again, I have been in a walking boot for the last 3 months because we went on a backstage tour to see the elephants at the zoo here to help raise awareness and managed to break my foot in 2 places.
I haven't broken my foot. I've broken my toe, and I've had to walk in heels with the broken toe. I brought the flip-flop slippers down.
Oh. Yes.
And whenever I would switch into my heels right before I went on stage, and as soon as I came off, I'd switch back. I've had my shoe pop on me, like the strap around my ankle.
And it popped.
It popped.
Yeah, no, I've been there. What is so significant about your platform? Thank you, Burgundy. I was going to ask for questions, and I know that Courtney's on, and she wants to be able to go on soon, so we can always come back to you if you want. Do you want me to call you Danny or Opal?
It doesn't matter. I've gone by Danny most of my life until I got into college. And then I had to go by Opal because it's my legal name. So I've gotten used to both of them.
Which do you prefer?
It depends on the day.
Are you a Gemini?
I actually am. I am a Gemini. So
no, are you really?
I am, June 20th.
I'm June 1st. That's...
You know, that's why the pageants work so well, because I was a tomboy and then a girly girl.
I'm the same way. I'm exactly the same way. Burgundy, you are too?
She is, June 4th.
Oh my gosh. See,
I
believe that Geminis tend to gravitate towards this because it allows both of our personalities to be highlighted at different times, and it works out great. So
yes, and we understand when our brains jump from thing to thing.
Absolutely. All right. Do you want to let Courtney go on really quick, and then you and I can pop back if you want to? I'm really enjoying the conversation, and I'd love to hear more about your experience, but I also want to give Courtney an opportunity to be able to talk about her reign, and I know her time is limited as well. So do you mind?
Right. I don't mind at all.
Okay. Because really quickly, Burgundy says, what is so significant about your platform? Hi.
My platform is kind of a two-part. I like to bring awareness for kidney cancer and autism. My nephew was actually autistic. My dad passed away of kidney cancer. Kidney cancer is the fastest growing cancer in the United States with very little research done.
Right.
Autism is one that, as a coach for Special Olympics, I see it, I deal with it. So they kind of go hand in hand with just going to walks, going to awareness. On April 2nd, we will be wearing our blue for Lighted Up Blue for autism awareness, since it's Autism Awareness Month. And actually March is Kidney Cancer Awareness Month. So we try to wear green or orange at least once this entire month.
So good. But I'm supporting.
You actually have the green, and you have the red, yellow, and blue for autism awareness. So you're just doing everything in one outfit.
Well, see, I knew I needed to. I mean, I'm actually a therapist for children that are autistic. So that is, even though that's what my degree is in, I own a gymnastics company, but we specialize in children that have special needs. So, so I get it. So I support the Special Olympics. I used to be the men's coach for the state of Florida for Special Olympics for gymnastics. And yeah, so I get it.
You understand the world.
And I am a 3-time cancer survivor, so I appreciate what you do, because without people like you that are out there raising awareness, using your titles and your opportunities to be able to help people in need, our world is a better place because of people like you. So we really appreciate that.
Thank you. It's always a lot of fun.
It is, and that's the thing too, is if you can find a way to raise awareness and get people involved and still be able to have a good time and be able to show people that just because these are horrific situations or awful diseases or challenging circumstances, that we still can have a good time and be able to lift each other up and be kind to one another, which is what we need so much right now. So
this is very true.
All right, I'm going to pop you out, and I'm going to bring Courtney in so she can talk a little bit, and then if we've got time and if you want to, we'll have you come back in so you can talk a little bit more. And I don't know if Miss Burgundy or Mrs. Octavia want to say something as well. I know they're both watching, so we'll kind of play the time as we can. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful. Stay in the chat so you can ask questions of Courtney, and then we'll go from there. All right?
All right. Thank you.
Thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So now we are having our second guest on. So let me see if we can get her to get into... Okay. No, they're amazing. I agree, Burgundy. I wanted to give you the opportunity, if you wanted to, just to tell anybody that wanted to know more about the system. Although I have to say that Danny did a great job. So, hi, how are you?
Good. Feeling better.
Yeah. Well, I had it 2 weeks ago. I had to cancel a show because I was sick. So, so I get it. We have all been there.
All the weather and the changes. I came back from New York, and when I came back from New York, immediately afterwards, I was hit with, I don't know what it was, but I was hit with it for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then right when I got rid of it, it came right back. So
yeah, no, whatever the ick is that's going around the country, and I know you guys were at Fashion Week, so there was a lot of. Who knew there was so many pageant ladies on Hey, we're glad you're here, and become a fan so that you're a crownie, and please share us with your fans so that we can grow. We do a show every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also have Mondays, which is Miss America Mondays, where we have Miss America delegates from all over the country that come on. And then we do intermittent Thursday shows so that we can be able to highlight as many title holders as we can, because now it's getting crazy to be able to get on the show. We have a long list, and we are booked out until May right now. Oh my gosh. I just... This was my dream come true. So please introduce yourself, tell us who you are, and tell us what your title is.
Hey, everybody. My name is Courtney Heyer. I am the Miss UniverzVT International with the Miss UniverzV program. And my platform is suicide awareness. I'm a huge advocate for suicide awareness. Um, Honestly, I've lost my best friend from it, and
Oh
instead of
no,
making
I'm
it a
so sorry.
negative, oh, it's okay. Honestly, it's it's hurtful. It hurts, but you have to look at it as you got to turn it into something positive. That there are so many people out there that are dealing with mental illness, and they need to know that there's a voice out there who's going to listen to them and who's going to be there for them. So
Right.
I advocate that very boldly and on behalf of my best friend. I lost him when I was 16, so I've been doing it for a while now. For about 7 years advocating in his honor. So
That is phenomenal. We have one of our sponsors is actually he runs an international anti-bullying campaign, but they deal
hmm
with a lot of suicide prevention as well because of the fact that a lot of times bullying leads to suicide because of the
right.
feelings of not belonging and not having acceptance and people picking on them and used to that happening all the time.
Yeah.
that issue,
My
not
computer
suicide.
my
Um,
computer is also messing up today. I mean, and then
no,
we've got this
it, it
bad
it
weather.
might be the weather. I know everybody that's in the area of the nor'easter is having a big problem, but I know also too with the computers, you now has been having a little bit of a glitch unless you've got everything updated to it.
Right.
So I'm sorry and I apologize, but I'm glad you're
Oh,
here.
you're fine. It
All right,
works
so
through the phone, so we're good.
we're good, and you look fantastic. You sound wonderful. So
Thank
that's what
you.
we want. We want to be able to see and hear you.
Thank
So
you.
um, tell me about your experience as a title holder with the Miss UniverzV program, and how this has helped your pageant experiences overall.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna jump back into my pageant history for a second. I've been doing pageantry for it'll be 12 years this year. I met Burgundy 4 years ago in a pageant, Miss American Coed, and ever since then we've been best friends. And she came to me and she was like, "Hey, you think you could be a staff for me this week?" And I was like, "Yeah, the week of the first, inductee of the girls." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." Well, then I go there and I went as staff, but I went back home as a queen for her group. And it was
Ah,
totally unexpected, totally last minute. And my mom actually also joined in. And so we do a mother daughter thing together with the Miss UniverzV. So with this program, it has helped me so much. I've learned a lot. You are you're representing countries. So I represent Germany. I took German for a few years in high school, and I was like, I like this. So I represent Germany, but I'm learning more and more about my country that I'm representing, and then also on top of that, to prepare for other pageant systems. I've done Miss Reigning America. I did that this past year, immediately right after the Miss UniverzV week. I had maybe a week or two afterwards and had to prepare. And out of all my years of pageantry, I hadn't landed in that top 10, top 15, whatever. And I was like, this isn't my year. It's okay. I've gotten better. But I saw myself growing even before the Miss Universe program, because I was growing and growing and growing. I was getting closer and closer. And I was like,
right.
okay, what is it that I'm missing? So I went to, my guidance, Glenda's, and I went to Burgundy and Miss Octavia, and I was like, okay, what can I do to land that spot? Just even
Right.
if I get top whatever, I'll be happy. And they helped me with my introductions and my interviews and what I needed to do as far as wardrobe wise with interview and evening gown. And I placed top 10 with Reigning America this year. And I was like, that's it. I
Woohoo!
was like, I got my placement. And I was like, yes. So, even if I didn't win, my outlook is, even though I did not go and I didn't, or I went, but I didn't win the national crown, I won something because I placed something I ain't never placed before. And you learn, even though you may feel like you've lost if you don't win that title, you still won
No.
because you learned something. You never lose at a pageant because you're learning things at a pageant every time you go, whether
Right.
it's at state or regionals or, a small little fair. I was watching Opal's interview and, on here, and she was like, with the fair pageants, you're still learning every time. You learn
Right.
different tricks with a
And you're
new
still
trick,
competing.
Yeah,
I mean,
always
it doesn't matter if you're competing for a big title or a small title. The truth of the matter is you're putting yourself out there for subjective judging.
Right.
And opening yourself up for criticism. I mean,
Right.
obviously it's positive criticism. It's not designed to break you or make you
Right.
feel bad. The intent is so that you see how you're doing. But I don't ever feel like when I'm in a pageant that I'm competing against somebody. I feel like I'm competing against myself.
Right.
So if I learn something new about myself, if I'm able to represent myself well, if the crown is supposed to be my crown, it'll be my crown. And if
Right.
it's not, it wasn't
It's
meant.
not my
There's
crown.
some reason for it.
And I totally agree with that. And another thing that I feel is like it's not how you wear the crown or it's what you do with it. And you can do everything with the crown, even without the crown. You can still volunteer. And that's one thing I really love about this program is you're volunteering and you're getting out there and spreading awareness of I'm not only spreading awareness about my personal platform, but we spread awareness towards other platforms every month. So we all have our own campaign of what we do, and then we go off about like what that awareness month would be. So it's really nice to actually just get out there and spread awareness to not only just my platform, but to other people's platforms as well, because you're learning, in my opinion, you're learning more about that person and what they stand for, but you're also learning about the awareness of, that certain subject or what, that platform may be.
You're working on. Right. Okay, so Miss Opal, Danny, wants to know what's your favorite experience with the MUI program?
My
And
favorite
Kanumi, hold on a second, really quick. Kanumi, I saw your questions. I will ask them in just a second. So, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm blind. My glare on my glasses. Sorry, guys. My glare on my glasses was bothering me, so I was like, I'm gonna take them off.
Okay.
So if I'm
All right. Well,
squinting,
and
sorry.
I'll read the questions to you just so it makes it easier. That way you don't have to squint. Okay.
Sounds good. My favorite experience with MUI would have to be was when we had gotten inducted last year. It was our very first year. I watched my mom achieve her dream of walking on a stage, and honestly, she's my rock. She is like the person who has pushed me and pushed me and pushed me to do this and follow my dreams. And she was like, I'm not going to tell you no, because when I got my first letter from NAM to come and try out, she's like, you're going to do it if you want. If you don't, that's fine. And I was like, okay, well, let's give it a try. Because
good question.
Years ago, when she was younger, when she was younger, she got that invite, but her mom told her no. And she was always backed from her dreams of what she could and couldn't do. And watching my mom go up there, she just blossomed. She's like showed up. It's like we've kind of like taught each other. She kind of did whatever I do on stage by just watching me, and then I'd be like, no, Mom, this needs to be fixed, and let me fix your hair. And so I felt like, even though I'm her baby, I felt like I was letting my baby out on stage.
You take your baby on stage. That's awesome. Oh, wow, what an amazing
That would be my favorite moment. It was just amazing seeing her get crowned, and she started tearing up. I was like, no, Mom, I gotta go on next. Stop.
Don't cry. There's no crying in pageantry.
Yes, none.
All right. Konumi, thanks for sharing that. Konumi says that she was in fashion college and had a chance to participate in making a dress for countries for a pageant competition, and she said no because she felt insecure. But she might get a chance to do it again. Do you have any tips?
Honestly, the insecurities I had in my...
Uh-oh, Kenzie's here. You're in trouble.
It's a very real question about insecurities, because even as myself, I have had those nonstop. But the way that I look at them is, in my opinion, and by my, religion, God gave me a gift, and you grow from it. If you're insecure about it, the best thing that you can do is just push them aside and be like, you know what, world, I got this. Because there are going to be many people who try to tear you down, but let me tell you something. You can overcome those people and show them, I did this.
Absolutely.
And you learn from it. You learn everything. There are going to be mistakes made, but you learn from those mistakes. Right. And that is the way that I've looked at it every year throughout my pageantry. I will come up with new insecurities every time I go to compete. I'll be like,
you have different stuff depending on which group of people you are and whatever system you're in. What I always say is that if you ease into discomfort, you're making a step forward. As long as you let fear keep you where you are, you don't move forward in your life. So if it feels uncomfortable, you're doing it right.
Yep. I totally agree. Like I said, just push them aside and show the world what you do, because God gave you that gift, and I feel, use it, girl. Just use it.
Okay, so Kanumi said she wouldn't participate herself, but Miss Croatia was asking to have a dress made. You know, I would say my personal opinion as far as dress design, in the past when I've had someone custom make a dress for me, I sit down with, I have a designer. I sit down with her and we draw up a picture of what we want, and we talk really specifically about what the needs are, so that even if the dress doesn't look like all of the other competitors' dresses, because this sets them apart because it's a unique design, you're still making it in the eye of the dress, of the person that's wearing the dress.
Right.
So I think it's super, super important. I know that for me, I know it's the right dress when I put it on and I feel like a queen. So it may not look like everybody else's, but I mean, I've been very, very lucky because my dress designer, you know, listens very intently to what my needs are, what colors I want, what fabrics I want, what style I want. I bring in pictures to her and I say, okay, I want this part of this dress and this part of this dress and this part of this dress. And she'll say, well, what about this? What if we try this? So I really think it has to be an interactive process. So I hope that helps, Kanumi. Okay, so let's see. Oh, one of the questions, Dan asked, how old were you when you started in pageants and what made you decide to do them?
Well, I was, let's see, that'd be 6th grade, so 12. I was 12 when I started, when I actually got the invite from National American Miss. And I thought pageants were all like, now I lived in the South too before, but I had moved up to Iowa. And so, of course, I'm thinking pageants like, oh, this is glitz, like I gotta dress up in all this makeup.
No, not
At
NAM.
the
NAM is
time,
one of the best systems.
Oh yes, I loved NAM. But at first, that's what you think. And at my age, at 12, I was into like skateboarding. I was like complete tomboy. I was skateboarder, get my knees all messed and scratched up. And I was like, well, it's something I read. I did research on it because, that was just when computers started getting a little bit bigger, when technology was growing a little bit.
Mackenzie just got an invite to compete for National American Miss, so she's here. She just came into the chat, so you can tell her a little bit more about it because I told her it was a great system. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. For my first pageant, it was bigger than what I thought it was gonna be, but at the same time, it's a state pageant. It's not like regional or a fair pageant. And I was like, Mom, let's try it. And, I realized that's what made me get out of my shy area, because I was shy back then. And except for like, my friends, they're like, no, you're not shy because you're like crazy with your friends. And I was like, no, guys, like,
yeah, but it's different
if you're
going with your friends, because
right.
when you know somebody, because I'm the same way. I know it doesn't seem like it now, but this is
right.
years and years of adapting to easing into discomfort and having to push myself out there where I didn't want to. But I get what you're saying. It's one thing when you're around your friends and you're outgoing and happy, but when you get into a room and all of a sudden it's like, I don't know you.
Right. Yeah. And I had went, and then it started going. I was like, okay, they sent me the letter back, and I was like, I'm sorry, my lights keep flickering. I'm like, ah. So I got my letter back, and I had saw that I had made it, and I was like, wow, okay, now it's like crunch time. You got to get the fees paid. You got to do whatever you can to get out there. So I'd go and I'd sell candy. Like, everybody likes candy. That's how my first sponsoring went. Well, then I also reached out to a couple businesses that I knew the managers from, and I went and talked to them, but it got me out there in my community more. Right. And so as far as getting the sponsorships done, I learned about going out into my community and talking with, owners of businesses. Well, then the paperwork had come from like magazine, 2 or 3, where you had to fill out everything if you were going to do optionals, or NAM does the resume and they do their interviews. I don't know if they still do, but I know whenever I competed, they still did the resumes and they read off that to ask your questions. And I was like, okay, I'm going to fill this out. Well, by the end of competing, I was on stage, and now everybody gets their like state finalist trophy, and they were calling out names, and they had called my name for best resume winner. And I was like, well, that's not my name. And I'm like, no way. And they almost called it again because it took me a second. And I was like, oh, shoot, that's me. And so I had walked up. But I had learned how to do resumes, which now in the future, now that I'm older, I'm in my 20s now, I got to fill out resumes to get jobs,
Right,
and now
exactly.
I have that, that experience from my pageantry interviews. I've been
Right,
able to do real good on
absolutely.
my job interviews. My resumes have helped tremendously. And just getting out with my community and talking to people and not being so afraid to put myself out there. Um, so NAM was a really good starter pageant for me, and that was when I started. After that, I was hooked. I took a couple years off break, but I was in shift change of moving states all the time. So I was like, okay, give it a break and then come back. And so ever since then, I've been like, this is my last year. Well, then I compete again and again. So, like I said, this year, this was going to be the year that I was going to stop, and now I'm competing again next year. So I'm like,
My
well,
last year was 30 years ago.
yeah,
Oh, wait,
it's
sorry, I have a title now, so maybe it wasn't.
yeah, it's hard to stop, especially like when you grow into it, when you're growing up with it, and it's something that you're passionate about, and you have a goal set in mind that you're going to get that national title or international title. I'm like, I'm gonna keep going.
Oh,
And I also, even though I've reached that goal now with an international title, all my friends are out of state, and they're all pageant friends. So I have that bond with sisters, and I can't even call them friends. They're sisters to me
absolutely.
because we've all grown so close, but we all have the same passions as far as like competing. And we're like, okay, this is gonna be my last year, and then we all agree, no, it's not. I'll see you next year. So, that's what kept me going in my
And
pageantry
and
was just
honestly,
meeting
that's what
everybody.
it really should be about is, what you can do to meet new people, learn stuff about yourself,
Right,
be able to, you know, learn new things that, maybe you wouldn't have experienced before. I know
right.
for me in the beginning, it was all about travel until I was a national title holder for an
Yep.
international system, and I realized that I was traveling a lot. You kind of live out of a suitcase. So I've seen 42 amazing airports and amazing
Yeah.
hotels in 42 amazing states in the United States.
Yeah. See, my dad, I can kind of agree with that. My dad's an electrician, so every time he moved, I went with him every summer. So I've seen almost every state in the U.S. as well, not just with pageantry, but traveling is a dream. It's nice to get out there and see,
New
the
stuff.
country
Right.
that we live in. It's beautiful.
I agree.
Um,
All right. With that in mind, Mackenzie asks, who is your historic role model? And where's the rest of it? I lost it. Sorry. It was a great question too. Ken's, can you ask? Okay, who is a historical female role model for you and why?
oh wow. My historical role model. It'd be of any time, female wise. Honestly, I have so many. Probably Helen Keller. She's from Alabama as well, but she overcame a bunch of obstacles. She was blind and deaf, and honestly, like if I knew sign language and if I could taking the time to learn it, and if I just knew it, I would ask so many questions if I could. But you think about like the stuff that even myself, not being blind or deaf, I've overcome obstacles every day, but it's nothing in comparison as to what she had to face.
Right.
And I like learning about other people and what they go through, and how they take that, and just shape shift it and make
Right.
it into
A
something that
positive.
they overcome. Yeah.
Right.
Everything, like even like I said with my platform, my obstacle was losing my best friend, but I made it into a positive impact of reaching out to people that in my community. And so I want to know how she turned something, so negative and just made it
Made it something so
and lived
positive.
her life, lived it. So that would be my most historical female person that I would look up to.
Mackenzie signed "I love you," by the way. So you can't see it, I think, in the chat, but I
Yeah.
signed it back. I said "I love you," and we were on Rise, which is another app that's associated with you now, but it's more of like
Mhm.
the after show app. Where you can have four people chatting all at the same time,
Right.
and one of the symbols is a guy's hand saying "I love you," but everyone
Yeah.
thinks it's rock on, and I'm like, no, it means I love you.
That's cute.
We can rock on too, but it means
For
I love
fun,
you.
right? Yeah.
So, but silent actually, and I sign a little bit. My husband actually is fluent, but I am not. My husband isn't deaf, but he used to be a translator, an ASL translator.
Right.
So, So sometimes he'll sign to me because I learned baby sign language. I used to be an instructor for baby sign language because when children are not able to speak they're babies, they can still make signs and so he'll sign something. I'll go, that's not right, and he's like, what you're doing is not right. Because I make different signs than he does because the baby sign language is a little bit adapted because it's harder. It's certain signs are harder for children to make. So there you go.
Right.
I know that was off topic. All right. So what is your goal from here? Okay, for you out February, what did you write about for your Woman of the Month project?
Honestly, I can honestly say I think I had missed the Woman of the Month project. But I don't think I wrote specifically about a Woman of the Month, but if I would have, it would have been specifically on Helen Keller just because of my, the way that I look at her as a person and see that with her obstacles. That would have been the person that I'd done more research on. But I don't believe, I don't know if I had missed that one or not, but if I did, that would have been who I would have done on the Woman of the Month for February.
Thank you, Ryan, for becoming a fan. Okay, so you guys actually have, so do me a favor so that there are people still joining us and still coming in. Let me just say hi to everybody really quick. My name is Stacy. This is Pageantry Now. Our show is designed to highlight positive pageantry and title holders all over the world. Gives an opportunity for you to see what pageantry really is about instead of the things that you see on TV. And we really want to be able to highlight the amazing aspects of what these women wearing a crown are doing all over the world to change their world. With that in mind, tell us again who you are.
Hi, everybody.
Tell us your title and your name.
I'm Courtney Heyer. I am Miss UniverzVT International. I am with the Miss UniverzV program, and my platform is suicide awareness.
All right. So VT means that you are a volunteer with talent.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because the V stands for volunteer and T stands for talent. So what is your talent?
My talent, actually, I have a few. I actually just picked up painting, and I've been doing art all my life. But when we went to New York, I had actually sold some paintings of mine for a fundraiser for myself, and was able to pay for my New York trip. And it was a talent.
And what did you do in New York?
We did the modeling in New York, so we went and modeled for the New York Fashion Week. We got to model for one of we are now ambassadors for the woke fashion design, and I got to see New York and different aspects other than just TV because I was like, one day I'm going to go there, but I don't know when. And then the opportunity came up, and walking in Fashion Week was just it was fun. It was a different sort of stage feeling, it was like I'm a little nervous because
you have to be a little bit more serious and a little bit more. It's a different walk. It's a different look.
Really different from smiling all the time to going just straight face, be like.
Ms. Burgundy wants to know, how was the Wendy Williams show?
How you doing? So I love Wendy Williams. Burgundy actually, she had kept this surprise for me for about 2 weeks, and she was like, I'm gonna tell you Sunday. So Sunday comes around, and I'm like, okay, what's the surprise? And she goes, I'm not telling you till tomorrow morning, but you need to be downstairs by 5:30. And I was like, okay. So
5:30 in the morning or 5:30
in the morning? Yeah, 5:30 in the morning. So I think that night, I think my mom and Opal and her mom and we had all stayed up fairly late, and I was like, I can't sleep, and I think I went to bed at like maybe 2. Got about 2 hours of sleep, woke up at 4. And we got there, and my face, I was shook. I was shook to the core because I love Wendy Williams. And I was like, okay, I'm worried about how my hair is going to look and how I'm getting dressed. And I'm like, and she's like, okay, go across the street with mommy, and which was, Miss Octavia. And I was like, okay, across the street. What are we doing across the street? And she was like, look up. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I freaked because I'm a huge fan of Wendy Williams. So we got there, and we were sat up at the 3rd row on the far right-hand side. Awesome. Well, then they had moved me and Burgundy. And they're like, okay, go down to the 2nd row. And I'm like, oh, sweet, 2nd row. This is awesome.
Did you get to wear your sash?
We got to wear it for the first part of, like, getting seated because
Right.
after they
They make you take it off.
yeah, they had us take it off, but I think part of that was because they had moved us from the second row in the right-hand side to the very front row. And so Burgundy and I had actually gotten the front seats to Wendy Williams, and I was like, "Oh man, we're front row." I was like, "What is this?" I was just excited to be there in that moment of even just being wherever I sat. I didn't care. I was like, Wendy Williams, she's gonna come out them doors. She's gonna do her thing, and that's gonna be awesome. And then we had moved to the front, and they're like, "If you could just take your sashes off and put them on your seat," and that whole show was just the experience of watching a live show live was really fun. And I was telling everybody back at home, "Yo, guys, I'm on TV. Make sure you watch it." And they're like, "Yeah, okay." And then those who missed it, I was like, "She's got it on YouTube. I'm on YouTube." So it was a lot of fun. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Thank you, Ryan. That happened to me. I've been on The Voice twice, not as a contestant. I wish as a contestant.
Yeah.
But I have been seated next to the judges both times. They put me in VIP seating.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time that we went to The Voice, one of the people sitting next to us had on a sticker that said family, which they had a different color, sticker than everybody else had.
Right.
And I said, well, which contestant are you family of? And they're like, "Oh, Gwen." And I'm like, "Gwen Stefani?" And she's like, "Yeah, this is her dad. This is her grandmother. We're all here to meet Blake."
That would be a way to meet your significant.
And I went, "Oh, okay, great."
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, no one's going to believe this.
Right. I would be starstruck. And I'm like, "Y'all, I met Gwen's parents." What? But at the same time, I'd be like, that's a crazy way to meet somebody. It would be like right after the show, as far as like.
We got to meet like a lot of the contestants because the second time that I went, the first time they wouldn't let me bring my phone, like your camera, you're not allowed to bring it to.
Yeah, at Wendy Williams, you could have your phone with you, but you had to turn it off, and then you had a break where you could get on it, but you could not Snapchat or take pictures or Facebook, any of like I know there were certain areas of production you could not take pictures of. But
for The Voice, they actually take your phone away if you bring it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're not allowed to bring it onto the stage at all. So, but they let me, which so we got. I mean, the second time was more fun because a bunch of my pageant friends came. Not that it wasn't fun with my husband, but my pageant friends had never had that opportunity, so we got to. Miss Burgundy says that Mrs. Octavia is watching you on YouTube right now because we're live streaming on YouTube too. So anybody that's on your YouTube, please make sure you come here and follow us here and like us and share us, please. We want more crownies. We're trying to get more crownies. Crownies are our loyal fans, so please join us. We really appreciate you being there and supporting us. So awesome. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up. You guys have been on for a little while. I know we went a little bit over with Opal. But what would you like to share about the Miss UniverzV program and your experience as Miss UniverzVT this year?
Okay. With the system itself, we start at ages 4 and up. We are not a pageant a pageant system. We are an internship, so right. I treat it as a job. They treat it, our directors treat it as a job. We do blog on Facebook, and we do different campaigns. So we have our 3 posts with country volunteer, and then you have campaigns every month of what the awareness is being brought to. Our website, you can go to it. It's going to be MissUniverzV as in zebra, wixsite.com/UniverzV. And you can find more information on there. As far as one thing that I've really loved is you can compete while you're an international, or state, whatever part of this program that you are representing, you can compete with, because again, this is not a pageant system. It's more of an internship, and we have guidance Glendas who help you, learn more. All of our queens are kind of like pageant coaches towards all the other girls as well. So especially our younger ones that look up to us, we can tell them, what, we can help them on what they may need help on as far as like interviewing or introduction. we get to coach our little ones, so that's a big thing too.
It's huge
One thing
role
that,
models. It's helping
yeah,
each other in the
and you can
process.
be, yeah, and it's amazing just watching them grow. I've watched these girls grow all year, and I've just been like, oh, my babies, like I love them all. They're my little sisters, and
And
they're
I feel
sisters
bad
that I've
because
never had.
we can't have them on the show because you now
Right,
has you have to be 13 or older. So I
right,
feel bad because they are not getting this experience. So to
yeah.
all of the littles out there, they're
All of our
tinies,
babies.
tweenies. I know that
They're
there's
little sister queenies. They're little sisters to me. They're sisters I never had because I don't have any sisters. I have a brother, and so I get to be role models for not only just the younger girls, but little guys as well. They look up, especially this day and age, and it's amazing to have them all look up to us as women and as even younger girls in the generation. They can look up to them as well. And one thing that I've enjoyed about my title this year, I've gotten to go places I would never thought of would ever go, like New York, and spend it with my mom. Like I said earlier, my mom is my rock. She's the one who has pushed me to, you know, follow my dreams and achieve them. And at the same time, she's now following her dreams and she's achieving them. So the whole outlook on my year as a reign, I can't look at this year about what I've done better as a queen, or I can't look at it as my reign because I'm standing in the background. I'm like, my mom, I want it to be her spotlight because this is for her, like she's chasing her dreams and we're doing it together. And so
your
now
sister
that she
queens.
has,
It's not mom and daughter. It's sister
yeah,
queens. You guys are there to
she's
support
my
each other.
sister. Now we've turned into sisters, but my mom, like I said, she's my rock. She's my world, and now I get to watch her do what she's been watching me do for 12 years. So now any type of
Aw.
of course in the rooms you have like little clashings, but now we're like, no, you need to fix this, hon. We gotta fix each other. So
Right.
it's just about the bonds that you make with not only the other girls, but it's a mother-daughter bond also. And I'm watching her grow as this amazing queen. Not that she already wasn't one, because she is
Aw.
my mom. So, but she's grown so much within the pageant world too. And if it weren't for her, I wouldn't be here. I don't even know where I'd be if it weren't for, her allowing me to achieve my dreams. If I didn't do pageantry, what would I be doing? It's always like that what if, but you're always thankful for the things that your parents do for you because they're the ones who are like, go show the world what you got.
Really.
So yeah, that's my favorite. Honestly, I can't look at it as my year as, with this I can, but at the same time I can't because I'm also like trying to put myself in the background like that's my mom and I'm watching her do
Aw.
do her. So yeah.
Opal says that the younger divisions are kiddos, preteens, and tweens. Miss Burgundy
Yes.
says they all love you.
And I
And
love
then
them.
Miss Burgundy says that you and she share the same title, except she's V, or are you guys
Yes.
both VT?
But she's VT as
VT.
well.
So awesome to have you as a wonderful role model to share her title with as her bestie.
Yes.
And then she says that you are always in the spotlight, or your mom is always in the spotlight, and
Yeah.
that you are both wonderful title holders. So
Thank you.
much love to you
Much
guys.
love.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. I think that this is such a great way to be able to support women and to be able to give them opportunities to learn more about what pageantry is like and the real sisterhood that it happens, but
Yes.
also the importance of it being a job. Most people don't realize that being a title holder is a job, and it requires you to actively be busy doing activities in your community, representing, your city, your state, your nation, international, whatever it is. You are the person that people see wearing that
Right.
kind of that sash and a representation of that. So
Yeah.
you do a wonderful job. I know
Thank
your
you
mom
so
is proud
much.
of you, and we're
Thank
so
you.
happy to have you.
Thank you. This was a great. I hated when we had that first one. I was like, oh man, I'm sick. I was like, no. But thank you so much for having me. This has been. It's a new thing. I've never done live stream interviews before.
Isn't this
So
easy?
This is my
cool.
first. This was fun. I was like, at first I was nervous. I think I get nervous during my interviews beforehand, like I think any normal person may or may not do, but I was like, oh, I'm a little bit nervous. I was talking to Burgundy before I got on the show, and she's like, okay, you got this ready? And I was like, yeah, and then my computer would shut, and I'm like, no. I was like, oh, we got to get through this time.
We got through this. I say it right now, but we got through this without any technical issues.
Yes.
Which was fantastic. So, Mackenzie, we actually made it through an entire episode with no technical issues. So that you guys did a wonderful job. So we appreciate that. And how was your first experience live streaming? What'd you think?
Oh, it was good. Besides my phone dropping and doing whatever it decided to do, it was good. I enjoyed, the questions. I thank you everybody for your questions, because if it weren't for y'all, then where would Miss Stacy be? I don't, I have to give thanks to Miss Stacy as well. It was very fun. I would do it over and over again.
Well, then maybe we'll meet in person. I'm going to try to come to internationals if I can, but
that would be amazing.
It would be nice to be able to meet your new title holders, and just hear about your whole year's experience and what has made it special. So
for sure.
Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
You
Bye.
too. Bye. Wow, what a great day. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I'm grateful to Miss Burgundy for lending me your staff and your title holders. Yeah, I know. The question that I've got will be, just because we do camp, we have a gymnastics camp, so it's going to be a matter of whether or not I can come take some time off of camp to be able to come and visit with you guys at Disney. But opportunity to go to Disney for, wait, whose birthday is that weekend? Danny, your birthday's that week, right? Maybe we should make it a birthday party. Whole bunch of crowns go somewhere all together. Yeah, no, it was great interviews. You guys did an amazing job. And it's Opal's birthday, and it's Burgundy's birthday at the beginning of the month. My birthday at the beginning of the month. So maybe we'll see. Maybe I can talk Mr. Michael into going. All right, yay! Thank you so much for all being here. I really appreciate it. It was wonderful getting to know you. Next week, yes ma'am, birthday bash. Next Sunday, 5 p.m. we will have another title holder from the Miss UniverzV program, so that you guys can get to know some more of the title holders, and hopefully learn more, see more. We had great interaction today, great questions, great support. We really appreciate that. We do not have shows this week because I'm going to Disney World. So I do have one Monday night. We have a title holder that is in the Miss America system, who was at Florida International University when the bridge fell down. I don't know if you all heard about it, but we had a pedestrian bridge that collapsed here on Thursday, and she has been interviewed several times, so she's going to be here Monday night at 9 p.m. so that you guys can meet her, hear about her story, hear about her reign in the Miss America system. Miss Burgundy, thank you again for lending us your ladies, and for being here, and for your mom for being here and giving great opportunities to women all over the world to be able to have a title and be able to learn more about pageantry without having to worry about the competition part of it, but the actual education, sisterhood, bonds to it. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We appreciate your prayers. And we will, not Disneyland, Disney World. Disneyland's Cali. That'll be in November, hopefully. Anyways, so with that being said, thank you so much for being here, guys, for another edition of Pageantry Now. We will see you next Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you can get to know some more of the title holders of the Miss UniverzV program. They're not the same, Mackenzie. Disneyland and Disney World are different. Trust me. So with that being said, hashtag be kind to one another. There you go, Mackenzie. Thank you. And hashtag Ellen. We are so grateful for being able to be here and offer this to all of our crownies. So thank you for being part of this, because without you, we don't have a show and no one to talk to. I'd just be talking to dead air. So, hey, Cheyenne. We will see you Monday night, or if not, we'll see you next Sunday. Thank you so much, guys. That's a wrap. Take care. Bye.